All right, Dekillsage, how's it going? We got some Project L to talk about.
Yeah, no, I'm chilling.
So, trailer. Obviously, you've seen it. You can't even lie. I know everybody's seen it. What do you think about it so far? Good, bad?
Yeah, so I thought it was good. Um, but I'm biased because as soon as I saw that it was a team game, I was like, all right, like now I'm actually gonna give it a try, you know. If it was like Rising Thunder, I was not gonna give it a try. So that automatically sold me, but the two main things they said in the trailer, like one is just like the game isn't about being easier for new players. It's like, yeah, they're gonna be easy inputs for specials, but the whole goal is to make easy to pick apart to master, I guess, which I think is a good approach. And then they talked about the netcode stuff. Like if one person is laggy, it'll only affect them. Like that's really interesting. I'm pretty excited for that. So I think most people should be excited for those two things alone.
Yeah, I think that quote from I need to like get their name. I think that Tony is the
And
one.
yeah,
Yeah. When that was like that was the FGC ASMR right there. Like
seriously.
it's not about making a game that the new players can beat the pros. Like yeah, that shit. Everybody wanted to hear that. Yeah, I mean, I know you're very, of course, you love team games. You're very good at them, of course. So I was definitely, I was for some reason I was shocked that was a team game. I don't know why. It makes so much sense because it's League of Legends, right? League of Legends itself is a team game. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why, but I guess from the initial, because the initial trailer, it wasn't a team game, right? Like the initial gameplay, it was kind of like Rising Thunder. Like it had some different stuff to it, but like yeah, it was just a 1v1 game. So it's cool. I think like it makes sense for them to do that because of the easy inputs. Like you make a game more flashy, and what gets flashier in the team games, right? So
Yeah. You also like if they decide to go the whole mile, like they can actually incorporate like pair play mode. Like I can like team up with someone else as well and add that dynamic. Like the kind of like the Street Fighter Cross Tekken thing they did,
oh,
where
you know
like they
what's
did 1v1s and then 2v2s.
yeah, you know what's funny is that I'm gonna mention this in another video. It's that when they said the server stuff, right? Only because I just like I mean it's kind of basic fighting game stuff. Like fighting games are peer to peer, and they're doing the server thing, and like that's cool. Like it helps out like latency and stuff like that. But like yeah, you can have more than two people play the game, right? Because they already do it. It's already in League of Legends and Valorant, and it's in multiverses too. Multiverses use the same thing. They use server based stuff because obviously there's more than two people playing the game. If you have like a 4-man brawl,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think that's gonna be in the game too. Honestly, I'm surprised you pulled that up. I don't know if anybody ever noticed that.
Yeah, no, it's like one of the first things I thought about because like I think about like where like what fighting games can do to push for like I guess they bring the casuals in. It's just like what about if you can play with your friend? Then you can blame your friend for your losses. People always say like you don't have to take accountability for your losses in MOBAs. Like maybe they can do that for fighting games too a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think it makes perfect sense for if it's a 2v2 game like that cross Tekken. The cross Tekken thing was pretty cool. I tried it a few times. It's just the net play was so hard
Yeah,
because
it's
the game was old, but no, it is a cool concept. So let's talk about the easy peasy big inputs, right? So no motions. It seems like no motions, right? It seems like it's gonna be on some Rising Thunder, Battle for the Grid stuff where it's like one button, right? So I know. Okay, here comes the hot takes, right? How do you feel about no motions?
the way I look at no motions. Like so, I played Smash for basically like the
Yes.
majority of my competitive lifespan, I guess you would call it. And that didn't make the game any easier to play. So like as long as the game gives you a lot of things to work on, like a lot of options, like when it comes to timings, movement, um, strategy, then it doesn't really matter to me personally. And it's also like one of the things that's good about it is like, and one of the hard things about fighting games is like the doing a motion, no matter how you look at it, is something you have to learn. But anyone could hold a direction and push a button, right? So like everyone can pick up the game and do the gist of like the character's like toolkit, which I think would be good for newer players that come into the scene.
Yeah, I agree. I think So the thing with motions is like the classic debate on motions is like you tie difficult or like powerful moves to motions, right? It's like the like a Street Fighter 2 Dragon Punch. It's like technically the hardest motion because it's just DP, right? But so it's a very powerful move tied to a hard motion technically. But yeah, you can just have somebody it like removing the motion doesn't make the game that much easier because you still need to know how to use the move, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
So
if we even look at like I haven't played Battle for the Grid, but even like looking like my friend mentioned this like Melty Blood, like some of the most powerful attacks are direction plus button, right?
yeah.
And so like it's not like we haven't seen it in fighting games and how it affects it, right? Um, Somebody even posted a DBZ combo, just like a combo of no motions, and it was like a crazy Bardock combo with like a bunch of links and stuff. Like if stuff like that exists, like yeah, some motions are there, so like some moves aren't too powerful, but chances are those like super powerful moves are gonna change because they're not motions anymore. Hopefully, right? But
Yeah, I mean, there also comes the idea of like there's very cursed inputs with simple stuff like that, like down down. I cannot stand like powerful down down moves. Like the
the
immediate thing that comes into
DPs,
my mind, the immediate thing that comes into my mind is, I mean, you played MSCI, is Zero's like tornado DP. Like it's down
yeah,
down just covers the whole screen, but I mean, we'll see. There is like some drawback to it, but I think just removing it and letting people, experience the move without having to like, because I remember like really thinking about it when I started playing fighting games like in Street Fighter 4. Like it took me like a week, not even it took me like 2 weeks to learn how to do like the FADC like ultra. Like I would just sit there and like practice like 2 hours and like, all right, that's enough for a day for like 2 weeks straight, right? But I'm a psychopath and most people are not. So I
yeah.
I definitely would like people to
That's
get
the big
in with
thing.
the easier thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we're just different. Like that's the reason why we play fighting games. Is like we're kind of obsessed in a way to put in that time. But for most people, like why would I spend all this time practicing this thing and it like doesn't really lead to results? You know what I mean? Like it's you still have to learn fighting games, right? So like what if you skip that part and then you learn fighting games
Yeah,
potentially?
I just think it's worth it. Honestly, I'm perfectly 100% okay with them removing motions. As long as you balance the moves accordingly, and I'm sure they're going to do just
Yeah.
fine with that.
I'm
So
sure there'll be DPs, but I'm sure there'll be unsafe on like MVCI where they were safe because you could tag and stuff like that.
yeah, I mean that game has like no rules to be honest. Like to be fair,
Yeah,
so
yeah. To be fair, you're right.
it's a cursed example, but it's like what it comes to mind when I think of easy is the down down is definitely the most cursed, but it is what it is. We'll see how they do with it. So let's talk about another hot topic, and that's free to play. So there's a couple free to play fighting games, but there isn't that many. And knowing Riot's history, this is like almost 100% guaranteed to be a free to play game. So how do you feel about what is your experience with like free to play games in general? Like, do you think it would translate well to fighting games?
I haven't played a free to play game. Like I only play fighting games in the single player games. But I do play KI, and I know KI had a free to play system in it where like it'll give you a character and access to the whole game. Just you're just stuck with one character, right? And they will
Yeah,
also
like
cycle the characters you
rotates.
can play. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
and that worked really well. So like honestly, free to play, I think in the way KI did it is good. Or even if the whole cast is like free to play, like that's perfect for a fighting game. It's like definitely something that we've needed for a long time. So I think I hope they do it.
Yeah, it seems with Riot that they're going to do it. I'll give you an example since you're not too familiar, and I'm a big shill with this game. I've actually been playing it more recently. That's Brawlhalla, um, the
Oh
hidden
snap!
the hidden champion of fighting games. Actually, that game does the free to play like model like almost perfect, like as good as you can get it. So basically, all the characters are free, right? But like all of the payment and stuff you can do is through like a ton of customization, like colors, costumes, like banners. Obviously no health bar system, right? But like kind of like how Tekken does it, you can customize all that nonsense. Like imagine that was just like transaction wise. Like they would make so much money. and you have the characters for free. So
Yeah, that would be a good thing. The people who stick with the game have something to buy, and people who want to try it can just try it and not have to
yeah,
spend $60 to find out that the netcode doesn't work, et
yeah,
cetera, et
yeah,
cetera.
yeah. That's also a big thing, right? Like you paying 60, but like also the thing with fighting games, like a $60 fighting game, a lot of the time is not even worth it. Just like regardless of if it's a fighting game or not, it's like there's not enough like things to do. So yeah,
The play arcade mode, and that's the only thing in the game has like we're way past that. And
yeah, it's
honestly,
like
there hasn't been too much to do in fighting games in general. Like people, they praise NRS, and I also praise NRS for like a lot of the stuff they do in their games too. But even then, it doesn't feel like it's enough. I don't really know.
the way they take it to me is like they definitely take it to a more casual approach. Like they give a lot of things for the casual player to do. But I don't know. It's hard. In my opinion, like fighting games are just inherently competitive games. I feel like if you're gonna do it, like make it more of like competitive things to do, like how their other game, like Valorant does it. Like Valorant has like the battle pass you grind out, the challenges. In that game, right? So the base roster is free, but you have to pay for the other characters, or you can grind out what's like their contracts. So like you keep playing, gain XP, and then eventually you unlock them, right? So it's like
Yeah, that's good. I think doesn't Street Fighter 5 also do that?
they do, which is funny because like I think I still will hold this to this day that Street Fighter Five was supposed to be a free to play game because the way that game is structured, it makes perfect sense, but they didn't do it.
Yeah, they
Like they
chickened
have
out.
that they have like the fight money that you earn like passively if you do stuff. If you watch the ads, you get fight money, so it's like, but they never went through with it. It's kind of weird. Um, Okay, let's talk about this one. This is a fun one. Uh, it's gonna be fun for me to get this tweet. So I'm gonna have the tweet here. I'm gonna edit it if I can find it. Hopefully. So LK had a tweet right that knowing LK, he's not a big fan of team games, but he says it must be done. So, and you commented basically saying that you will show him the way, the non-party game way, right? So now I ask you, what are some things that like a lot of people get wrong about team games? Like, what are some aspects that are like that are not that it's not just all chaotic party games? As someone who's very very good at team games like yourself,
Yeah, I think when it comes to team games, the biggest thing is that like people they'll watch a game like let's say Marvel 3 for example, and they'll be like, yo, this game has like a ton of 50/50s and it's broken. And like yeah, it's a broken game, but like they don't really get to understand and appreciate a lot of the plays people make in those games, like how much control you truly have, how consistent you can truly be. And the games like LK has gotten to play seriously. Like one of them was Dragon Ball, and that game's a meme, especially now, where they just add party game mechanics and like BB Tag. I don't know if you played it, but
yeah, I played
that
a little
game
bit.
was just like, let's take a versus game and not put any of the defensive options and see how it goes, and you get BB Tag. Um, but no, like good team games have like good rules. Like defense can be hard, but it's like is usually as strong as offense. Like push blocking is an example. Like in Marvel 3, if you know how to push block, you don't take mix-ups. And it's the
Yeah,
same with Skullgirls. And like if you structure your team, like LK had a like versus game team in season 3 where you play like Roshi assist, like defensively. And like he like mentioned how it like changed the game for him, right? But like team games are supposed to be that way. Like you're supposed to have that control or that thing that's just like, if I'm better than you and I have this thing that stops the thing that's really annoying, all of a sudden I'm playing like a better game, right? So I think if he like experiences a good team game, he'll enjoy it more. Um, Hopefully there's no party game mechanic.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, we don't know that much about the mechanics in Project L, obviously, but yeah, it makes a good point that I also had that epiphany too. So like my season one, if I go back from like season one, my team was very not chaotic, but like it was definitely all about like I need the mix. Like there was like basically no neutral sis happening. I guess kind of like Bardock. I had Bardock on season one, but yeah, I had that epiphany too. It's like wait, if I play the assist that just gives me the control, like I get to actually like stop people. Like I don't like I stopped losing to just like the chaotic stuff for a while, especially with the UI and Roshi team, where it's like I get to now you have to play with my speed, and then like if I'm just better than you, then it's like it's free, right? So
Exactly, yeah. And usually the mechanics do that for you, and like the assists are kind of like the cherry on top. And that was like the biggest thing in Dragon Ball is like the mechanics did not help you in that regard. The mechanics are built for you to randomly get hit trying to do something at neutral, but like a super dash or by
yeah,
like full screen, like half a second, half a bar, safe on block, mix up starting attack. Like those don't really exist the same way usually in like in versus games, except for like BB Tech because that game is crazy. MVCI also kind of had that problem where it was just like, damn, I'm gonna do this thing and tag, and then you just have to hold that. But
and
that
this
game had
is
no rules. But
yeah, that's the thing. Like the game had no rules. It's like it's not like really an assist. It's I don't know. That game is very strange. It's a very strange game to like to classify it, but I mean, we'll see. Project L might have that. It seems like there's like some sort of like passive like tag in thing like after an assist, but it at least from what they've shown, it seems way less chaotic than like MCI. It's not like you're summoning a whole fucking full screen super and like tagging it, but
yeah,
we gotta see
from
what
the
they have.
trailer, it like the tag make combo looked like a DBOZ tag, like how you can Z change.
Yeah, I saw
Um,
that like off a launcher. It seems like I don't know.
yeah, we'll have to see what the rules are. Like that's like the one thing. Like it can be a team game, but it could also have horrible rules. So I'm really hoping that they. Well, I have faith in them. I have faith in them. Never mind. They got this. They'll get the rules
Yeah,
right.
I am curious, but I feel like they'll add rules. Like, um, so getting away from the game, let's talk about some League of Legends. Do you have you followed any League of Legends like at all? Do you have like any like dream characters you want to see in the game?
And not really. So like I've watched League of Legends and I'm just like since I never played it, I have no idea what's happening. But I just like listening to the commentators get excited. Um honestly, I don't really care for the characters as long as archetypes are hit or like if the characters are fan favorites just so people get excited when they watch or play the game. But I don't really have any attachments to any League characters.
That's a noble answer. You get hype for others for their characters.
I mean it's like not truly noble, it's like a little selfish like if I'm gonna play the game, I very much would like people to be excited to watch the game type shit.
Yeah, I think the only character I don't really have that much attachment to characters either. I do like Darius, but like he's just a given that he's gonna be in the game. So I already won my pick. And then the only other character I would like is like Swain because he's kind of cool if you ever look him up. But okay, so let's talk about so actually let's talk about actual archetypes, right? So what would be your dream archetype in it? So it's a two. So we know the rules. Thankfully, we know it's a 2v2 game. So like, what are like your two kind of archetype characters you want in a game like this from like the limited information we know, I guess.
Those two? Rushdown, so kind of like Magneto-esque. I've become a huge fan of that archetype recently. Um, and like big body with like big button, kind of like a Juggernaut, is always cool too. Even though they're always annoying, it's kind of like a needed evil. I am hoping to further like expand that they do not add a godlike zoner again. I'm so tired of godlike zoners in fighting games. I hope the zoner is only okay.
Yeah, we'll see. If you, I guess okay. So I guess I'll rephrase this. If you have any other archetypes besides that too, so like obviously you need two characters because it's a 2v2 game, but like besides the Magneto and like the Juggernaut style, like is there any other archetype you would want like in a team?
Uh, I play in team games Rushdown, Big Body. I don't play grapplers. I play big bodies with command grabs. Um, damn, what's this archetype? Shoto. Just basic Shoto in team games is actually really cool when done right. So like Skullgirl's Annie is like a Shoto. She has like Fireball DP and like baby. She has like a safe on block. Like I guess her Tatsu is a punch. Um, it's, other than that, like no. Because like I hate every other archetype. I hate zoners and I hate trap characters and I hate puppet characters. Like I don't want to deal with them.
Oh my god.
They're
Yeah, we'll
awful.
see. Yeah, I definitely would agree with you like on the Magneto. I guess my because I didn't really play Marvel 3 like that. My Magneto was like Ultron, so like
Yeah,
kind of
no.
like an
But
Ultron style.
when I think of Magneto, it's like Philia and Skullgirls, Marvel 2 Magneto.
Yeah.
Marvel 3 Magneto is like kind of like a footsie flight character. I I hope characters can't fly. Also, I hope it's like
See,
more like horizontal grounded.
I don't see them adding some Marvel level play, but maybe I mean characters fly in League, kind of. So I don't know. Maybe it could happen, but I don't think to an extreme like Marvel. Like I don't think characters are doing some like bouncing around across the screen to get away.
Like Magneto, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything more depressing than me fighting a Magneto and like I'm playing like She-Hulk and the dude super jump flies across the screen. I'm like, wow.
Oh my god.
I'm
That's
like,
some F
wow.
champ. That's some F champ shit. Where F champ would just actually would actually just run away for like 30 Marvel seconds.
Yeah. Like it's cool, but I'm just like, wow, I guess I can't play my like
It's all
grounded character.
it's all mega toxic, I'm not gonna lie. I respect the hustle though. Okay. Um so what so let's talk about features, right? So I mean there's a lot of hopes for the game, and it seems like they if anyone's gonna take like fighting games to the next level, it's gonna be Riot. So like what features do you want in this game? Like give me like a if you can't name but give me like at least three features. 3 to 5 features that you like this must be in the game, please. That like don't really appear in other fighting games. Or like very rarely.
Kind of talked about it before. Pair play mode 100%. I want the ability to play with a friend.
Mhm.
That is just like not only is it fun, it's like the perfect thing for new people, and it's the perfect thing for like content creators, competitors. It has like a different mode. Like a Smash Brothers has like 2v2 as well. So I would like that. Obviously good netcode. Um a good ranked system, one that's like simple. Like Killer Instinct does ranked well, in my opinion. Is just like it's like bronze, silver, gold, killer, and then killer resets, and you go back to gold. You have to earn killer again, which I think is really cool if you do it by seasons. But other than that, like it's just stuff that we've already had. It's just that we never have them all at the same time. Like we never have like frame data in training mode and good online in the game, or like the game comes out and it doesn't have like it only has survival mode, like Street Fighter 5 just decided to do for when it came out, or I don't even know, or the netcode's bad. It's always like it has some things that's missing the other things, right? If it has all the basic things, there's like good training mode, good online, pair play mode, um, that's fine. Like we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's a good point. Like we never have them all together, which is very annoying.
It's
Um
horrible. Like even Skullgirls, like Skullgirls doesn't have a ranked.
that's
So
true.
I can't even be like Skullgirls did everything like it
I
didn't.
know. I think we had like a 3 tweet conversation about this actually.
Yeah.
Like a long time ago about like that there isn't a ranked in the game.
Yeah.
Um yeah, for me at least, like I thought about this for a while. I definitely need the ranks are a very good point. I definitely need I need save states, bro. I cannot stand it.
Oh, bro, yeah,
Dude,
that's so
oh my
rare.
god, bro.
It's like just Skullgirls. I think Fighting Herds and the Guilty Gear, I think should have it now. I'm not sure. Plus R.
My god.
No,
Dude,
you're right. Yeah,
I
that's I
cannot
forgot about
stand.
that.
I cannot stand. So like the times I would go back to like practice stuff, especially for like DBZ, dude. I cannot stand waiting the entire like I have to do level 3 and sit the whole animation every time for me to mess up the mix up and then have to do it again. Or just like
Oh
other games in
man.
general, I just dude, save states, please. If especially if that game has like even if the game doesn't have long animations, like just get me to the tail end of the animation and let me practice the mix or like practice the setup for the meaty or whatever. In Melty too, like there's situations where like I would just save so much time if I could just skip that little animation.
Yeah, no, that's like I 100% agree with you. I completely forget that save states aren't in a game until I play another game.
I think about it all the time. It kills me. I'm like, you, if I had a save state right here. The other thing
The
I definitely want is oh, I forgot the other one, but like a good replay system like Punk's favorite Capcom Fighters Network. But
I
the
have
replay
no
system is
idea how that
the replay
replay
system
system
is
works.
actually really good though. It's a very clean cut. The only thing it doesn't have is like a YouTube style kind of like play bar. Like I want to be able to kind of like drag that around because you have to like go from round to round. That's like the only thing that's annoying. But if you have like a nice filter system and be able to kind of like scroll like to a very specific section of replay, I think that'd be perfect. Like a nice like a
Yeah,
good
good replay
replay system.
system. Plus R does the thing like that. I always forget how far they've pushed replays and again, it's like games do some things, but not all of them. Where like Plus R, you can like have a replay and put yourself into replay in a
Oh,
scenario.
that was what I was thinking about. That I cannot believe that only exists in that game, nothing else. It is absurd.
It's an insane thing. And then like Fighting Herds has a thing where like you can record a combo or a sequence
Yeah,
and then like send it to somebody and they can do it as a trial.
that
Like
was dope.
can you imagine making a YouTube video? Here are the combos and here's the download link for the
Is the
trials for your
download? I
game.
know. That'd be tight. When so my first suggestion for that game too was in college, and it just so happened the like one of the best players of all time in that game. We went to the same college, and like, who are you? And I'm like, this is Fighting Herds. That was like the first my introduction to Fighting Herds, and I played it for like 2 months. That game is sick.
Yeah, it's
Shouts
a
to
really
that
cool
game.
game.
Shouts to Candle, by the way. Actual Fighting Herds go. Um. All right. Last. This is the most important question. Okay. Will Project L save the FGC?
I mean, I hope so. So it's like not it's not just about like the money Riot has, right? Like it's a big deal, but it's also just like if they do everything right, it'll be a wake up call to the other fighting game companies, right? Because fighting games, no matter what, will never have the one game. It will always be a community of different communities that makes up the one big community. But it just sucks, man, when like I want to play Tekken and the online's dog water and like there's no rematch, or if I want to play Street Fighter and it comes out and has 8 frames of lag, or if I play Dragon Ball and there's no save states and I have to practice 21's level 3 and I add another 3 hours to it, like if Riot can do everything and do it right, and the other companies are like, damn, we gotta do this too, or else we're gonna fall behind and die, then the FGC will be saved, in my opinion. So I hope so.
That's a good way of putting it. Actually, I 100% agree with you. I feel like if they can just put all the little things together, it doesn't have to. We don't have to have $1 million world tour, right? But if they can put all the little things together, it would immediately elevate. And then of course they're gonna add their own stuff to it. They're gonna add some new crazy feature that's like, yo, this needs to be in every game, right?
Yeah, I'm
It
hoping
just
it's a net play, honestly. I'm hoping the net play is just some next level like I'm always playing offline no matter what. Doesn't matter where the
could
dude's from.
could happen. The funny thing with fighting games is like it has probably the most amount of leeway in terms of latency, because like if you play Valorant and you're playing on like a set, like you playing like whatever server and it's like 70 ping, it's like, damn, this is trash. But you playing a fighting game with 70 ping, it's like, this is pretty good.
It's like this is incredible.
You
It
have
feels just
so
like
much
offline.
more you have so much more wiggle room in a fighting game, especially with latency. Like you could play way farther out as long as the infrastructure is good, or as long as it doesn't go crazy. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm super hopeful.
Yeah, I think it's like the biggest thing they'll do. Like knowing them too, the cannons, like, now I have absolutely no concerns about the net play. I just hopefully they add just all little things and little and more, and the game's fun enough, and that's it for me at least.
Yeah, the fact that it's a team game just gives me so much hope. If it wasn't a
Word.
team game, I would just be like, it's like, ah, I mean, I guess, but at least I don't have all the other things. But now I'm just like, yes, like please be a good team game, please.
Yeah, I'm pretty neutral on team games. I've played some bad ones and I've played some good ones, so I'm kind of I'm not in the despair. Like, okay,
Yeah,
hopefully, okay, can now stand them. All right, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. We had a nice little discussion here.
yeah, man.
So plug in some stuff. I know you stream a little bit, but I know the YouTube's coming back, right?
Yeah, so all my socials are the same. It's like YouTube, Twitter, twitch.com/Dekillsage. You can just catch my stuff as I upload it as I do things. I'm like in the process of trying to save Skullgirls even more. That's been my main goal recently. So if you're at all interested in that, just keep a lookout for that.
Yeah, please go. If you somehow follow me and don't follow the Killsage, go check him out. Definitely, especially for Twitter, one of the least cursed Twitter pages for sure. Your
I
Twitter
definitely
is
appreciate
pretty
that.
pretty damn good, and also the tweet of with Dev. recently. I'll put it up here. I'm editing it here because it was actually ridiculous. So go check them out on all the socials. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course, anytime.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。